Alright, so to open up, I'm going to start with a brief history on the Panama Canal because it will later tie back into what I'm presenting to you. So, throughout the 1800s, the need for commerce and trade was at a rapidly growing pace, as it would be in the years to come, and a new nation was beginning to bloom. Being right after the Revolutionary War, America and Great Britain had very tight tensions and were fighting against each other in almost all aspects of daily life. One of these aspects being economical development. Both nations wanted to receive and transport goods to their country from the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans. However, there was no easy, fast, or efficient trade route to do so, and it was becoming a distinct problem in the minds of these countries. One other thing I would like to mention is that this all occurred during the decline of the Industrial Revolution, in which Great Britain had highly elevated its social status and had no intent on decreasing this due to an inability to ship goods. So, coming back to what I was saying before, both nations wanted a trade route where they could easily get to the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans. So to do so, they decided to create a Panama Canal, or a canal running through present-day Panama or the Central American Republic of Nicaragua. However, only plans were made by America and Great Britain before the project was shut down and not touched for many years, until the French came into play. The French had attempted to pick up a fortune by piecing together the plans and creating the before-seen canal, but an outbreak of malaria and bankruptcy soon shut down their plans as well. The project remained untouched for many years until President Theodore Roosevelt came into American history. During this time, the Panamanians had been fighting their fight for independence, and we as Americans had offered to help them by dispatching warships in their favor. Once they won their independence, they gave us a thank you 10-mile strip of land to execute our provisions of creating the Panama Canal. Now, through this story, you have seen everyone and everything that has helped to create the Panama Canal. However, the real heroes behind this feat, which were not mentioned, were the civil engineers behind this. And accordingly, my career of choice is to become a civil engineer. So, my reasons of choice being are my love for math and science, my idea to pursue my dreams and visions, and the fact that civil engineers can change the world. So to start off with, I have an example of a bridge here, and this just shows how civil engineers use math and science to incorporate their ideas into our world. So this was a project I made last year, and though it is made out of popsicle sticks, it's not the best representation. However, it does show the math and science involved in civil engineering. When I created this, we had to make sure we knew how much land the bridge had to span across, as in how much water went underneath the bridge before we could build it. This is an example of the math and science involved because 1, we had to know how much land, 2, we had to know what kind of land. Secondly, this bridge has many popsicle sticks involved in its construction. However, each popsicle stick did cost a certain amount, which, just like real life, engineers have to take into account how much money their design, one of these being a bridge or a building, it will cost. So, to further show you, I have an example here that I'm going to be setting up. In school, we have 2 classes that we study hard in, math and science. However, in civil engineering, we have to combine both of these. Therefore, I have a little tube here where math and science both combine into civil engineering. So, in a conclusion to this area, you can see that civil engineering heavily depends on math and science. So next, my reason of choice being to become a civil engineer is to pursue my dreams and visions. So as a civil engineer, there are many problems with this world that you have to face and create creative solutions to come around. To demonstrate this, I have a few dominoes that I'm going to be setting up. Each of these dominoes represents an idea or a solution to a problem that we face. And just like a domino effect, each solution has its own flaws, which then leads to more other ideas and solutions. So I'm going to be setting these up, and just remember that this represents all the ideas that civil engineers have to come up with. Alright, so I'm only going to place down a few ideas because you get the picture that it takes many ideas, which are represented by these dominoes again, to create a better solution for our world. So this brings me to my last reason for being a civil engineer, which is helping our world and just positively changing it. So here I have a set of stairs, and this is supposed to represent society now and what society could become. So with that, I'm going to place this in front of all our dominoes here, which again are the ideas that civil engineers create. And you can see, that with more ideas and more solutions, we can create a better world. So as we work society upward, our world is improved. So, in conclusion, with heavy ties to math and science, civil engineers can create many ideas to change the world. Which is my career of choice is to become a civil engineer.